Hey everybody, Eric for President here. Now, I remember my first VR experience very vividly and it was amazing. But I do remember not really having many people to talk about it with because the people I knew who played VR, I could count them on one hand. So now having the Quest, I just want to share my experience more and more with more people. And because of my excitement, I've made a few mistakes when showing people that probably led to a first poor impression of VR. So let's talk about some time and tested things you should do when showing people your Oculus Quest for the first time. That way they can just have the best ultimate experience as possible. That way maybe they go out themselves and buy VR. So let's go over these today. Of course, if you like this video, please support it by hitting that like button. It helps this video tremendously, and of course subscribe for more content. Let's jump into it. The first thing to remember is the Ipd issue. My Ipd is a borderline cyclops on the scale, and the likelihood of all those I show my Oculus Quest to having that same Ipd, well, that's just realistically not going to happen and is poor planning. In the excitement to show off the Quest to others, it is easy to forget to have them to set up their Ipd. Nothing ruins a first experience more than blurry visuals because the Ipd was never set for someone using it. First impressions, for better or for worse, are usually the most important to nail for future VR experiences, so remember when showing a friend to set up the Ipd right away for them. Still in the sense of setting up the Quest, make sure those whom you show the Quest to respect the grid system. Seriously, lack of respect in the grid has caused a few problems in my household alone. These problems can come from a couple of areas. There is a clear lack of depth perception when using the pass-through camera feature when setting up the Guardian. Because of this, the area of play you have marked off as safe may in fact be much closer to objects than you think. Newcomers will not be familiar with this depth perception variance, and if you don't guide them, there's likely going to be possible injuries or broken items. Also, while you are familiar with your play space, others will not be. While you know you need to stop and have no room for going past the Guardian because, well, there's a wall there, others fresh to your location are not going to know that. And they see the Guardian as a reminder, but not the end-all be-all. And this will lead to a lot of things being run into. It sounds common sense, but sharing VR is very exciting and you're excited to share it. And because of that, you overlook small things like this. I've made this error before. Lastly, when speaking up setting up, make sure that they are using the straps for the touch controllers. Seeing your mom yeet a controller across the room into a wall is funny at first, then not so much. Make sure they're using the straps. When it comes to moving in games, make sure to never start them using smooth locomotion, meaning using the joystick to walk similar to console gaming. Put them in either teleporting locomotion or stationary only games. By doing this, you are helping others gain their VR legs and letting themselves acclimate to a VR world. One of the worst things, for example, you can do to someone to possibly ruin their first VR experience is put them in a roller coaster game or simulator. There are many people who, no matter how long they play VR games or spend time in a virtual reality headset, these types of games will always induce motion sickness. The problem with games like this and smooth locomotion for newcomers is that in the virtual world, you're moving. However, conflicting sensory information is being sent to your brain, which it also knows you're stationary in a room. This in a nutshell is VR sickness, the conflicting amount of sensory information. Start them in a game like Tilt Brush or Beat Saber, where there's limited movement, or do games where you teleport or you can have that option like an Apex Construct. This small change will lead to a better experience. Now I saved possibly the most important one for last, but it's important because it's overlooked. After everything we've talked about is done, and they start playing, let them play. I reiterate, let them just play. We're excited to share our experiences and hear from those playing it new. But don't get swept up and try to control their play, or tell them what to do, or break their immersion in any way. Let them get lost in VR. Let them play. Just observe. It seems immediately dumb to mention that at this point, but I think it matters. VR experiences can be broken by so many things. They can be broken by poor audio, headset problems, dropped frames, poor game design. Honestly, there's a never-ending list of things that can break a VR experience, unfortunately. So don't be what breaks that immersion in that experience by being the person who just doesn't let the other one get lost in VR. Remember your first time getting lost in a VR world? Let them have that same experience and just talk about it after. And there you have it. It's a short list and it seems like common sense, but it's very easy to just get hyped, just get excited to share your VR equipment with others and want to control the experience a little too much without thinking about them first. So these are my recommendations, although small, few, and all common sense, what you should do when showing others VR for the first time, because ultimately, you want their experience to be memorable, you want them to go home and talk about it, and you want them to buy a VR headset as well. That way you can play with them on your own time. I'm Eric for President. If you did enjoy this video, right down there, please hit that like button. It supports this video greatly. Please subscribe for more content coming almost daily, Monday through Friday. Any questions, comments, video ideas, anything you want, please put down in the comment section. I'll respond to them all, and I will see you guys on the next video. Good night.